Hello, Ariel. Oh, wow, it's been a while. I don't think I've seen anything by the squad in years. I have not streamed in years. This is the first YouTube stream to go up since my regrowth years ago with Rhino, and I have not streamed to Twitch since a couple years now. My computer completely crashed. All right. Yeah, a while since I've been in the streaming biz, but I have been doing Void Block. Oh, what did I mess up? Oh, all right, we're gonna have to reset it. So you guys are gonna lose visual for a few seconds. I didn't. I lost my old PC because the motherboard melted, but I did get a new PC recently, which is what I've been able to start recording and streaming again with. I don't know if you've been watching the Void Block series, and to those who see this in the future that's been watching my Void Block series, we lost an episode, which is actually why I'm streaming today with no word on it whatsoever from the Void Block series. One of my episodes that I recorded got eaten by my computer, and I was unable to recover it. So instead of going back, I was just going to bring you guys in and show you guys what I've done. I'm obviously streaming this now. I'm going to start streaming this on either Sunday or Monday, depending on which day I'm able to do it. Those are my 2 days off. So I will be. You got a cheap laptop for $500, Ariel? Sheesh. I can't even imagine getting a laptop for that cheap. Must have been like a steal off of one of those bargain websites that are absolutely amazing. But yeah, I'm now going to be, instead of recording it as per the normal, really, wow, I wouldn't have expected Walmart to pass up a laptop for that. Um, but as for um, the Void Block series, I will be continuing to make it on YouTube, but instead of making it by recording it, I'm going to start live streaming it on YouTube on Sundays and Mondays. Um, Mostly just because of the fact that we're getting to the point where I'm not going to be needing to cut out as much material, and this will be easier for me in the long run because I won't have to worry about recording episodes and then my computer deciding to eat them again. Instead, it'll go straight to YouTube, or at least that's my hopes. Normally, episodes will be anywhere between um, normally streams will be anywhere between 1 to 2 hours. They might go longer if I decide to stay on longer, but I'm going to try and get to 1 to 2 hours at least every weekend as long as I can. Um, and I'm going to try and do it no matter what. Today being an example of that because I woke up yesterday with a cold. So I'm right now fighting off a cold, but I decided to stream anyways because I feel like I'm good for it. But if my voice is sounding a bit scratchy or something like that, that's why. And if I'm muting often, that's the other reason. Um, as far as what you guys missed, um, I got oil processing up. I'm gonna try and make it on Sundays, but if I can't get it done Sunday, it's gonna be done Monday because those are my 2 days off. But I'm gonna try and always do it on Sundays since I know that for most people Sundays is easier than Mondays. Um, as far as like I was saying, what we've done, we did oil processing. I upped it a lot from what we saw last time, from the 2 to now the 6, and then the oil cracking going from heavy oil down to light oil, then light oil down to petroleum gas, based on these circuit conditions that we set up last time. That I set up, I believe, on the last episode that went out. That does that measures the heavy oil and the light oil. I did change these slightly to make it to where um, it will create more light oil than what we are taking it from. That's fine. It's not really a series. I wouldn't say it's something that you need to catch up on. I usually do a lot of re- reminding people what's been going on, especially since if I up the speed a bit so that I can move around a bit faster. Um, it's all coming from void. There is no resources. It's all a big purple ocean. Um, we can look at the map and see how big my map is. Pollution doesn't matter because biters don't exist. But upon this, we've been slowly expanding the island out into the void ocean. Um, my biggest reason for choosing to bring us into this particular version of the age is because we're going to be going to other planets soon. We're actually going to be building our spaceship today. In the episode that was lost, I built the Endurance, probably spelled wrong, but that's a thing. I did use quality modules to create um, a rare quality asteroid collector. Um, these are the only thing I feel that are important for quality early on because they will be able to collect more asteroids because they have more arms to collect asteroids with. Um, but this one's all set up to do our platform making process where it will capture metal asteroids, grind them down into iron ore, processes them down iron plates, process them into steel, and then combine the steel with copper wire being sent up from the planet in order to make platforms. Right now we're at 60 platforms. We're going to need quite a few platforms to get a ship of any kind to travel to the other planets. Um, Off camera, I did finish making the rest of the rocket parts. So we created sulfur for sulfuric acid. We created plastic for both light LDSs and for blue circuits. I also have had the red circuits and blue circuits being put into provider chests for the bot network so that our bot mall can continue being processed. Although we'll be tearing this entire mall down soon, and the only thing that will be down here is the reactor and everything for the reactor. This is not receiving power. Oh, because I got rid of one of the substations at some point for some reason. Yep. But we'll be tearing it down this bot mall eventually because it's not built very well, and I'm going to be moving it to probably somewhere up here or somewhere closer to the resources and closer to the ships. We'll be doing another mall that's above here that's going to basically say make all of the stuff we need for different ship parts, where we're going to be doing asteroid collectors, asteroid grinders, and basically anything else we will need. I do have them set up currently down here in the bot mall, here with our void processors. Oh wait, no, that's not those. I thought those were those, but they're not those. Where are they? Oh, they're over here. This bot mall is creating the space stuff, so this is creating storage units, which they do have quality modules in them. I did do some quality grinding off in the lost episode. I almost said off camera there. and we have a ton of these quality 2 regular modules, as I was trying to get rare quality modules in order to make rare quality modules. I don't have this running very much right now because we'll be doing a lot more of this once we go to Fulgora. But we need to go to Fulgora before we do that, and before we go to Fulgora, I want to go to Vulcanus because I want to get the turbo belts from Vulcanus before we make our base on Fulgora, because the plan on Fulgora is going to look quite different from what I've seen most people do, because I'm not going to be using a bot network on Fulgora. I'm going to be using a belt. We're going to be pulling from a massive sushi belt to make our stuff. Although I'm not entirely sure how we're going to do it yet, because every test I've done of it so far has shown that it doesn't work out great. But I have a few ideas that I want to test on Fulgora. I actually have a save on Fulgora from a starter planet, which we'll go ahead and take a look at real quick. We might not get a lot done for this stream/episode because I'm just using this to test it. But I can show you guys my Fulgora run, which, oh wait, no, never mind. We're not going to look at the Fulgora run. It would require me to reinstall some mods because I'm using different mods for that. Nothing super big, just it allows me to, instead of starting here on Navis, I start on Fulgora. But we obviously have been working on getting landfill built up. We have more than enough now, so expanding the Navis island is simple. And we also have a ton of foundations to take with us to the next couple of planets, which will be a big goal for Endurance once we get it built. Right now, what we need to do is we need to design the Endurance ship, which we can start doing now. One of the things that ships are going to need is thrusters. That's what makes its ship and a platform different. So from what I've seen so far, the easiest way to do it is to stagger them like this. So that will be my goal for this ship, is to stagger them. Much like the thrusters themselves, the ship is an even number. So this will be the center line, which I like figuring out where it is so I know where to place my thrusters when I place my thrusters down. And then as far as how to connect the oxidizer and the fuel, I will literally just be setting it up like this, and then be connecting them through pipes so that they fuel all of them. And this should flow through into the back engines. I do know that pipes won't go through space underground, because obviously there's no underground for them to go through. I will be changing out the pipes. I will be adding platform to all of this when it's finished. Now, I've been thinking about this because I have a couple of options here. You can actually go ahead and take this, because this will be basically the core of the ship. Well, it'll be the core of the thrusters of the ship. And then what we can do is, I could run this down a bit. Put it right there, because it doesn't need to be very far down. Because I was thinking on this for a while. We're not going to be using the vanilla style of making ships. We're going to be making a void ship, which I'll explain more about that as we build it. But basically, instead of pulling from the asteroid collection, we're going to be using void tech to get our necessary fuel to power the ship. We'll also be using void for a lot more of the ship, not just that. I've decided that since it's a void craft run, we will be using the void craft stuff to build it. Obviously, we're going to need more stuff up here, though. We're going to need more platforms. I will be attempting to send more platforms into orbit, which is what this is currently doing. I prefer making them in orbit because I only have to send up a bunch of copper wire if I make them here on the planet. If I make them in space, much like with normal, from what I know of normal space, sending the parts up and then assembling it in space is a lot more simple than sending the finished components up. That's actually one of my biggest complaints about Factorio um, and how it works. I wish that what the Endurance could do is that I could dock the Endurance to our research satellite and actually make it like a station in orbit that my ships could dock with, and then they transfer their resources to here and can be transferred to other ships without being sent down to the planet. Because I find the biggest annoyance in this game with the biggest annoyance I find in this game with the way that this works is that according to like if I wanted to get stuff from this ship, like let's say we wanted to send over all these platforms to the other ship, I'd have to send them to the planet, then send them back up into space. I couldn't just shuttle them across to the other planet. I'm hoping that eventually at one point, um, either Factorio or maybe eventually I get a mod that will allow me to basically transfer from one station to another, so that like that station I currently have in orbit can be my platform maker, and then it transfers all of its platforms over to the other station. I can understand why they might not have done that. It's not that I'm harping on them for not doing it, because I mean it was their decision, but I do find it kind of annoying. But I think what we should do is we should start working on moving um, all of these over to up here. We will be tearing Navis back down eventually. Um, right now we have Navis built the way it's built because we're just trying to get to Fulgora. Once I tear Navis back down, we'll be... Oh no, it's supposed to be one up. Then it slots into the others. I wanted to move those specifically so that we still had our quality modules. I will be tearing all of these down though and rebuilding these all up here as we need them. Space Cowboy. Very true. One thing I do like about Factorio, if we look into, it's actually funny, but the first time I played through Space Age, I thought that the time warp mod was messing with me being able to see the ships because I couldn't get to the ship, because I couldn't find the ship, how to connect to the ships. I didn't realize you had to go to the map according to see them. I thought that this was always in the left-hand corner once you launched ships, but I can understand why it's not. But one thing I think is hilarious is, like, if you look at this, like, it's like obviously this was not built by a factory with standards. This is like these thrusters are all open. You can see them. I love the design of this. I wish that more of these were like that, where it had more like exposed parts, because not only does it show really cool for the animation. This is not a big ship. Um, we can actually look at my, if we look at my, here's a siege ship. This is the ship that I normally build on in orbit around Navis to collect asteroids to build ship parts. And then if I put that blueprint away and we go back into orbit, we can also look at this one. So this is my original engine unit for a ship Oh, is this your mod at S6X? I actually did not know that. I actually did not see the mod name. Well, you have a very big fan in myself. I've been playing a series for YouTube on it for quite a while, and I've really enjoyed it. I played it originally when it was before I got Space Age, and it was actually what encouraged me to buy Space Age. because I wanted to see what you did with it for Space Age. I think it's a really clever mod. I think it's really cool. I've really enjoyed it. It's one reason why I decided to do it on YouTube, because I didn't see anybody doing it, and I was like, people need to know that this mod's a thing, because this is so cool. It's interesting though to have the creator watching, because I'd have to wonder if how you would feel about how I'm currently gathering all my resources, if this was what you would think that a late that a I wouldn't say late game, just about to take my first steps into space game would get their resources. We are using a few other mods on top of Voidcraft, but Voidcraft is the main focus here. I normally use these warehouses just because I like the fact that they can store so much and that they can help sort out the material. It really helps with the void shacks, though dealing with these stone bricks is such a problem. Until we get to Fulgora. Once we get to Fulgora, we'll get our recyclers, and then we'll get rid of the stone bricks with recyclers. It'll be a lot easier. Oh. So, it's actually where I'm getting all of my material, because we're playing on a void block map. We're melting down any of the excess resources into void flux, and then the void flux is being transferred into cohesive infusion in liquid in order to be used to make more resources. Although it's all being controlled by limiters to tell it only create it if it's got more than a certain amount. Although, oh, obviously my limits aren't set, or should be set a little differently. Well, that's very true. As long as it works. That was one of my thought processes when playing through this, was as long as I could get it working. That's usually all of my Factorios plans. I never thought I'd have this much resources, though. That was something I was very surprised in early on. We'll go ahead and slow it back down to 1 speed so I'm not zipping around here like crazy. I didn't know there was an upgrade. I didn't realize Voidcraft 2 was a thing. I'll have to go take a look at that. If it turns out that it will break it, I might do a playthrough of it. I haven't decided. I'll have to decide based on what people want to see. If people want to see me do Voidcraft 2, or if they want me to continue with Voidcraft 1 into Space Age. I could definitely say I'm going to miss having the speed mod when we lose it. Move this to here. I'm looking to see if we can get a what's the point of Factorio in general? This is a much modded version. Basically, it's doing research, which right now I'm not doing any research because I'm currently right now I'm waiting for the ship to get built. So I'm waiting for it because it's still building up platform parts up here, and I am also kind of being scatterbrained right now because I'm not paying attention a lot to what I'm actually trying to do. Most of the stream today was just supposed to see if I could figure out how to do it. I haven't streamed on YouTube in a while, and there's been some changes. But you're supposed to. No, you're good. You're good. Research is basically you're supposed to do research We're currently into the point of I've done blue all the way up to white science. You have red science, blue, green science, blue science, and yellow science. But you automate stuff. For example, if I take us over to my smelting area, um, you basically collect ore. In the base game, you would collect ore from ore patches. In this, we have to collect it from Voidcraft because there are no ore patches in this world. But the ore is then smelted into iron plates, and then you use the iron plates to craft things, such as coming up to here, we're crafting gears, we're crafting rods, and right now I've got a bot network. Most people who play Factorio that I've watched play Factorio talk about what's called BB and AB. BB bases are before bot bases, which is basically bases that are before they build a bot network, and AB, which is after bots, which is bases that are built with a bot network. We're currently at the point of having a bot network and working off planet. The Space Age update was the most recent addition to Factorio and led to going to different planets. Yep, that's exactly how that's exactly what's my plan for processing it. As soon as I could. That's the plan, to build up a big ship. But yeah, to dump all the resources in here. I only do one row of each resource. I could fit a lot more brick in here if I wanted to. I just don't because I don't want to put a lot of brick in here unless I have to. And right now I don't need to because this is all working out a lot better than I was thinking. I did not realize how well Coriolis fluid would make materials. I barely ever pull from the void flux. And then just in case we stop getting the basic material, I've got a few of them up here with just making the void flux recipe, which is using an overflow, which is using a top-up valve that if this is below 50 flux, then it generates here. I did have a question for you, S6X. Um, did you get any? Have you ever played Thaumcraft? Did they give you any inspiration for this? Because I always thought that because there's a purple goop in Thaumcraft for Minecraft that is Void Flux. That's actually called the Flux, and it's basically bad magic. That's a purple goop that to me was always melted down everything in the universe. So it's almost like we're taking the melted down everything in the universe and turning it back into material matter again. Oh, no, actually, I will believe that. It's not surprising. Um, while there is quite a bit of overlap for Minecraft players and Factorio players, it's not always big. If Flux is not corrupted, it's misunderstood. I will always be positive Flux. I will always believe in the Flux. I need to stop being so scatterbrained. I keep coming down here because I know what I want to build, and I keep getting scatterbrained about it. Because we need pipes for the liquid network, or the fluid network up on the. I don't know. I can't remember what it's called. Up on the ship. Oh, I'm already making pipes. Oh, okay. I know why it's not working. We're not making enough pipes. At the 50 and the rocket capacity is 200, so 400. There we go. That'll start sending them up to the surface. This is one reason why I need to move these because the bots are coming all the way down here to bring wire, but it's too far for them to charge. Oh, it's requesting wire back on the ship again. It's always funny when the ship decides it needs more wire. Probably could make the request bigger. the flux. In Thaumcraft, it's considered the corrupt magic material from basically you use magic and flux comes off of it as a corrupted resource, yes, normally. The other thing I wanted to make, because I wanted to see if we have it yet, we do not have the exoskeleton frames. Not made them yet. Do we have the research for it? Oh yeah, we're still making the research files, so we'll be able to research it. It is. Also how I met my wife, who I've been happily married to for 5 years. Corrupted something. Oh! Are you talking about the warped blade? The temporary persona I made for, yes, I am married to Immortal. Me and Immortal, after meeting on the server, got married. We met on the server. She eventually moved out here, and we got married. And we've been married for 5 years. No. 6 years. We just celebrated our 6th-year anniversary. One moment, she's in the other study. I will be right back. She says hello. Oh yeah, trust me, I know how that feels. Especially since part of that was COVID. I also need to get night vision goggles. That was something else I was thinking about getting eventually to help us with being able to see better. Should have named this the testing stream. Sometimes this bot network is annoying. Give me back my goggles. Ooh, that might make it difficult to get the exoskeleton legs in it. Speaking of which, before I put this on, then I need electric motors. Max speed. Hopefully with this I won't need to worry about increasing the speed of the game in order to move around, since I need to start preparing for not being able to do that. And then, okay, we do have the... Oh sweet, we did have enough room for it. Oop. Makes us a little bit faster. Not that much faster, but it does make us a little bit faster. It'll make it better for when we get off to the next planet. Since Vulcanus will make it to where we can't use the time change mod while we're on the planet, and then when we go to Fulgora, it won't work at all due to the lightning. Alright, so let's go ahead and tear down some of these solar panels. We now have enough of these that we can start looking to a little bit of how we're going to be expanding. Which, speaking of which, what I could start doing instead of always walking around, since I don't need to do that much anymore, start getting this planet to the point that I can tell it what to do remotely instead of setting it up as is. You can hear a noise right now. My cat is currently scratching on her makeshift scratching post. There are 50, we're making 50 of them. How many of these to go up in a rocket? 20, that's fine. And these are the exalted versions. So, what we will be doing, I took away all the solar panels. I did not mean to do that. Those are graders. Here is the exalted. Here we go. So I can do one there, 2 and 3, one there. All right, so need to look at. Need to get some of the. I need to have them send up chemical plants. Push this over to automatic mode as well. I know of efficiency runes, and I've made efficiency runes. I didn't think about efficiency runes. I know prior to me having nuclear power, I was wishing I could get the efficiency runes. I don't know if we have the superior version of efficiency runes. I know I'm making them. Not the further ones. We are making at least the first 2 tiers. Yeah, we're making the greater efficiency runes. What does it take to make the... I am not... Or Calculate Void Flux. I have both of those. We could start making greater versions of both of these. I did not think about that. I appreciate that, though, because I did not think about the fact that I could use the efficiency runes in space to make it a lot better. Let's see, exalted. No, I don't need the exalted. I need more buildings. Why am I prepping for them? I don't even have the built yet, or researched yet. Expensive. We also need to do the researches of the planets, so I can also get the ones down. Oh, we haven't even done the orbital voidcraft yet. Start with that. I need that if we're going to be doing what I'm planning on doing. So one reason why I thought about doing the sciences down here, the problem with it is, though, is that I know for a fact that we're going to be rebuilding this when we get to Fulgora, because we're going to be using foundries. I know that we're going to be using the what do I use brick for right now? Let's see. What am I making brick with? Oh, no, that's because it's requesting brick somewhere in the base, and the base is using brick. Okay. Because this shouldn't be flowing unless brick is getting used up, because brick is our problem right now. Much to its namesake, brick bricks up the entire process if it thanks to how little you can use with it in an early game, and with how little you can get rid of it. As I pointed out in my first episode of Factorio and Void Block. Could do military. I should at least automate military science. I already have more than enough. I could always build them just to compress them down, I guess. That's a good point. Because, I mean, if single Exalted Void Works takes... Oh, nope. 40 Void enough? Yes. Fulgora. More than enough is a thing on Fulgora. If I loaded up my Fulgora start, you would understand why I say that, because you can eventually get to the point where you have way too much stuff. Yes, the factory must grow, always. It's actually a good point. Let's go ahead and work on science. I was going to go to the next planet. I was going to get us off of here, but obviously endurance is going to take longer to build than I thought, and we're going to need to do a lot more resources than I thought. Right now, I think our main issue is the highest tier of... Nope, it's not. It's actually just the fact that we're running it all up. Oh, no, we are running out of Exalted. We just ran it. We just started running out. That's annoying. I keep forgetting the fact that we have to do more void research according to get the void researches for the planets. I actually, in my practice run of this, I went to Fulgora, and I accidentally did not do the researches to get the Fulgoran stuff. So I was sitting on Fulgora trying to remote control Navis to try and get it up and running, and ended up just reloading. It was quite annoying. Oh, it took everything out because of the fact that it was... I turned it over to automated. But yeah, I should just bite the bullet and start doing science, and then just redo science again when I when I come back. Virgic's gonna end up tearing down this entire base anyways. Might as well just accept that at this point. I'm suffering from what I've heard some people in Factorio call progression paralysis. Instead of moving forward, I just want to optimize or wait. No, I'm in the network, it just doesn't have any in the system. So we put this up here like this. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. Blue, red, green, black, blue, yellow, purple, and then I can pull white in just by request. Okay. Use the bots. If we have bots, we should be using bots. My problem is that I'm not used to having bots in Factorio because I'm used to not being this far. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. Alright. Not to mention the fact that we can always set this down and then just reseed a new base on hobbies. I need to stop being so against the thought process of building a bit more of a base here because of the fact that I have to tear it down when we come back. Progression through destruction. Red science. Here, one here. Oh wait, no. I'm also not used to using the hotbar down here. I've been trying to get better at it. I always forget that it's an option. Not you. I can agree though that there's a difference between having bots and not having bots in this game. It changes quite a lot of how the factory runs. Set down there. Go port. Alright, now this can go down to copper. And then this. Gotta love the adjustable inserters mod. Allows you to set up your inserters so where you don't need long-handed inserters anymore. It makes this a lot easier. Alright. And down here. Much like I said before, it's not going to be able to be a very fast system because we're already running into supply issues with copper and iron. I'm hoping that with going to Fulgora, we'll be able to get even more belts of copper and even more belts of iron. You will request gears. Should probably be bussing gears, but definitely say that there is part of me that does not want to do that. Or at least I should be making gears on the bus and then sending them backwards on a belt. I should not be bot networking it, and I should not be going. I should start learning to use the map more instead of running clear across my base like I've been doing. What I wanted to do was I wanted to come down here. Turn off red science production here at the mall. Now it's being made on the bus. Which it is going to be a problem of having enough gears, but it should catch up once the system can. And then of course, in order to keep the system from overflowing, use a circuit network to tell it not input red science. If red science is only put it in if it's less than 500. What I'd like to do is I'd like to make quality science. The problem with making quality science is I can't tell it to prioritize putting quality science in over non-quality science. Which is very annoying. I wish you could prioritize taking quality science before anything else. You could do it with a circuit network, but I don't know circuit networks that well. I wish I knew circuit networks that well. I do not. Search west. What we'll do is we'll move up to the north. This will help us get start moving everything to the north. Add a section? No, that's not it. Change logistics group. There we go. But what I want to do is I want to change this to 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. And then we need to also add in the exalted science now that we're making it. Because I don't have that being added to the bot network. I have that being added directly to the science chest, but we will be replacing the science chest with a provider chest so that all the science that's down there can be sent up, and also so that we can start working on getting all the science moved up there. I eventually need to create a better system for this than what I currently have, which could be said about most of my stuff here, in fact, in the current factory. It's just a starter base because it doesn't have concrete. Well, I guess it does have concrete. Here's concrete. So I know where to build. So I knew where to build all my oil setups. Where are we? So there, 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 there. Just doing some information that's coming for the stream. I think my bit rate's too low, but I'm not entirely sure what to do about that. Again later. I'll do later. We're missing 8. Which we should have. Oh, I'm not making any because of the quality module situation. Now we can. Now if we start getting higher quality modules, we can put those in instead. Get a little bit more out of our science. Move that up to epic as well. The rest of the epic module is out of there as well. Give us the 2 low quality ones. Use those up. I'm not going to be too big on quality right now because of the fact of us not having recyclers, but once we get recyclers, we'll start caring more about quality. Some things like modules will only use high quality stuff. Other bits and pieces, it won't be as focused. Alright, that gets us up to that. Next thing we need to research is... This is the recipe we're going to be using for the Void engine. We're going to be melting down void fuel to create our thrusters resources instead of creating it from the usual recipe, so that we won't have to worry about meteorite fragments as far as being able to move in space. We'll probably make a normal ship eventually, since I've found that in most cases it's better to use non-void recipes. The void recipes are usually pretty well balanced to make it to where using them is easy but expensive, which is something I like about the mod. It makes it to where you can use you can use the void craft, but if you're gonna make something like blue belts from the void, then you're gonna have to pay for it in a different way. It's either gonna be really slow to craft or it's gonna be really expensive to craft. I like the fact that it keeps the recipes to where it encourages you not only to use the void craft, but to use it as a helper to the main game, not as a bypass to making or breaking resources. I think the next thing that we'll research is we're gonna go with the void thruster, so we have the research for that. Yeah, it's actually extremely well balanced. Using Voidcraft to pull up iron ore is a lot easier for me than to pull up iron plates themselves. It's actually from all of the time I've played this, which I've been playing Void Block, and it requires me to use Voidcraft from the beginning. So I can say for a fact that I could always have set the system up instead I could always go down here and be like, instead of making these, I could set up the void factories and build these. I believe I would need a lot more than I would need a ton more void works to create just as many iron plates, and it would be exceedingly more expensive. And I like how none of these are working. I sometimes feel like my entire factory is the definition of it's held together with a dream, it's built with a hope, and both are falling to pieces. That might be from a Factorio fan song. I've been listening to those a lot when I'm playing this without recording it or streaming it. Now that I've actually streamed it, since it's the first time I've streamed it. But yeah, no, it's you hit the nail on the head as far as I can tell. And I know you made the Void. I know you said you made the Void Craft mod. Did you make the Void Block mod? The thing that sets up the world to be in a void ocean? Because I can say that if you did, or whoever did, definitely did it right to include stone bricks in here as being the only thing you can't melt back down. that you always will have too much of that, so that you can't just use these forever. Because I wouldn't have even bothered building this if it wasn't for the stone bricks. And I like that because that gives me something to deal with as a product. I think that's one thing Factorio lacked a lot of. Okay, so yeah, I really think you chose really well to make the Void Shacks also create stone bricks, so that the stone bricks would be your bottleneck, if that was your plan. If not, then, well, I could always pave my entire base with stone bricks. That's actually not a bad idea. We just gonna, is this actually what I'm gonna do? I can see me doing this. Put all my construction bots to work. Consume. Oh, well, you're always short on it because you were always making more void works. That's probably the problem, is I probably could be benefiting from making a ton more void works using all the stone bricks that I have in order to build more resources. I'm probably not playing this very optimally. I had a feeling that might be the case. As you can see, I'm not even cooking stone. I don't even bother to cook stone because I use stone bricks for so little of a thing. There we go. Now we're using stone bricks. We're paving our base with it. I do think it's a cool idea, though. I do think that, like I said, I think it's a really cool mod. The only issue so far that I've had in Void Block that, obviously it's not that big of an issue because growing trees is not a big deal in Void Block, but you can't grow trees on you can only grow trees on grass, you can't grow it on landfill. I don't know if that changes later with later technologies. I've only been to Fulgora of the other planets with Voidcraft, and that was my mistake, because I accidentally loaded Void Block into a world that was not Void Block, and then went to Fulgora, and it loaded Fulgora as Void Block instead of loading it as a normal world. So I know what the planets are going to look like, basically exactly like Davi's, except for their own oceans. Or they might have a void ocean, I don't know. Haven't seen it yet. Hopefully gonna see Vulcanus in a few episodes. I'm not guaranteeing this is gonna be the episode. It's been an hour and I've made... The progress we've made is we've laid down a lot of brick, I've showed off the base, and I've made red science on the belt. Alright, be back to work. Really? I thought I had more of these. Ah, that makes sense. I could always install Diversitrees or try to find another mod for it. I really haven't had an issue with wood, though. Truth be told, when I was originally playing through this and I was making a lot of void science, the thing I was lacking the most of was the void crystals themselves. The void crystals always seemed to be the thing I was lacking the most of. I seemed like I was choking on those. I seemed as though I was never having enough of those early on. Eventually, I got to the point where I had plenty of them, but that took a while. That's a 3 build. Do I not have... I'm missing a lot of my blueprints, apparently. I mean, I never really had a ton of blueprints, but I could have sworn I had blueprints in this that were not. There we are. Though these are probably not the ones I'm looking for. No, that's a 3. I'm looking for my 2 blueprints. could always just rebuild it. This one. I wonder if there's a way I could set up a requester chest to request all my blueprints to it. So I'd stop just throwing my blueprints in all the random chests. Use a lot of colors. Right, it's great. Great. Which is like normally crafting. Yeah, I noticed that the coreless fluid doesn't generate byproducts. It's one reason why I use it for the final products. What I usually do when I need void shards, I don't need them right now because I haven't been doing a lot of void research. I was actually running into a big issue of once I got coreless fluid, I stopped doing void research and then realized that was a huge mistake. But what I do is I just use the coreless fluid to make void shards. It's only a 25% chance, but we usually have at least a couple bouncing around, and if I needed more, I could always just set up a load of them to create because we're not even close to using our power production yet. And if I got close to my power production, I could always just build another nuclear reactor. The good news about my nuclear reactor is that all I need is this to run it. Once it sets down, it takes care of itself because it takes care of its own fueling process, and it's also making its water from coreless fluid. So it's always got plenty of water. These 4 tanks keep full. I'm even siphoning off some of the water to make concrete. No, what would I be using concrete for? Oh, it's research it's the railroad track. No, it's the furnaces. The furnaces are what's using up the brick every once in a while, which was what was causing the brick to slowly be eaten by this and then transferred into making more stuff. As we can see, we're starting to run low on brick again because I'm not making brick anywhere else. But then again, this entire system is based on an idea of moments of backlog with no production to large moments of production when I finally get around to actually producing. Vulcanus is the first planet we're going to look into because that's the first planet I plan on going to. Now we have the material needed for our ship, which is what we were currently working on. So I'm thinking the best plan for this would be to have 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. Alright, that should be more than enough for that. This will be just a proof of concept. We'll slowly upgrade this to make it better over time. Oh, that makes sense. Not to mention with Factorio's recent change to the process, instead of making fluid, not have a throughput, it now just has a distance. So bulking your steam to get in the same area. That makes a lot of sense. I might redesign a reactor based on that idea. This will probably not be enough fuel for the ship, but we will deal with that later. I also might not have enough distance now that I'm thinking about it. Because alright, if this is one of them, we're melting down void fuel for it. And then I go down 1 and down 3. No, it's far enough. could put either I could put tanks here or here, and then I can move the solar panels to around the front of this. We're gonna take this apart. But I can make sure that we're not getting ourselves into a corner here. Good. Starting to cough. I think my Dayquil might be starting to run out on me. And we've been streaming for about an hour and 15 minutes now, and I'm not used to streaming. So this is put that into there. Here. This comes over here. Are the ships not launching, or is there some other reason I'm not getting blue belts sent up? Oh, there goes the ship with blue belts. It's just the robot network being... It's just because we only have 2 ships to launch and the robot network is being slow. Eventually, I'm hoping to have more rockets launching, especially when we move over to... when we come back from the other planets. There we go. And then what we will do is... this one will go towards the inner side. Well, this one, and this one. And then if we just do this... This will be incredibly slow, and it'll kill my power supply up here. Let's send up those greater void modules. Can't get the level 3 versions, but we could send up the greater versions. What do we need for the next research? I'm making Orichalcus and Void Flux. Alright, pause that research. We'll start doing that one while we build on to green science. Alright, so take these down. 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1. That's I think it needs to go there. We will find out in a second. Well, it's not going to go there because it's not far enough. It's not far enough up. Move this up. We'll put it there. No, not that far up. Doesn't need to be that far up. There we go. Tear that down. There. I'm thinking about redesigning our science setup. Yeah, let's redesign our science setup. There's a better way to do this that I'm not thinking of. Well, I don't know if I call it a better way. There's a different way to do this. Whether or not you consider this better is whether or not you consider the fact that we're going to be able to use quality science instead of using normal science. let's ask for the level 2 quality modules and the level 1 quality modules. I was actually really surprised how quality worked in this. Like, if you want to craft a level 1 quality item, you can't use level 2 quality or level 3 quality. You have to use all level 1 quality. I thought qualities were just going to have it be just like the quality science, where if I have a rare quality gear and it's making a normal quality item, then the rare gear can be used up like 3 times instead of 1 time in the craft. So it won't burn them up as quickly, but it'll still burn them up eventually. I didn't think that it was going to be... I thought, like, okay, it makes sense if you have rare quality, if you want to make rare quality from the items, then you have to have rare quality items. But if you're having just normal quality, I think it should just be that it uses it up over time like the science does. So let's put this up here, and then what we'll do... These 3 can be belted in like this. Oh, if I do this, it's going to be... We're going to move this. Move it over to here. It's moved over like this. Like this. This goes to here. We're getting a little into the spaghetti, but that's alright. I don't mind pulling from Mario a little bit, because he's Italian. I hope that's not considered a racist joke. I apologize to any Italians that would be offended by that. Alright, now, what we can do now is then we can do this. The other way may have been easier and looked better, but this way we'll be able to use quality science. There we go. Now we need the research, now we need the production modules, which apparently I don't have normal production modules out here. Probably move down here to let these things eat up all my science. We're getting close to the end of this stream though. Like I said, I just wanted to test it today, and with my cold I currently have, I'm currently dealing with my throat being very scratchy. But I'm glad to see this worked out pretty well. We'll be doing this again. Like I said, from now on, the Factorio live streams will go up on either Sunday if I can do it, or Monday if I miss it for some reason. I will try to always do it on Sundays though, since I know that's better for most people. I will be leaving the streams up. I will be trying to see if I can put them into the Void Block playlist, so that those of you who can't catch the stream can then come and watch it on your own time from the list. I do apologize to anybody who would have wanted to catch the stream. Debut footage. I couldn't, like I said, I wasn't really planning on doing this today, but the footage I was supposed to upload this week got eaten, and I decided why create another one if I'm just going to start doing this anyways. Oh crap, that's not gonna work. That's a foolish decision. Place that there. Then we put this here, and then that'll work. Because I wanted to use up all the science that's in the research, that's inside the storage before we use up science that's being created on the belts. Which, one way we can do that is I can do this. then basically say if red science greater than 10, it'll freeze it. Oh wait, no, if it's less than 10, it'll let it flow. And then basically I can go through here and I can do it to all of these. But I can do, the next one is going to be green science. So we'll say green, and then I'll just set them up as I go. Alright, back to this though. I guess the first thing I will do is, oh, we already put quality science in there. So now what will happen is, if a quality science is up on the belt like these ones are, what we will notice is that when it does start to absorb it, when a normal quality gets to here, it won't be able to take it if there's a lower quality version in there. But it won't let any of the other qualities go in until that quality gets eaten. And unlike everything else, you can have normal quality science mix it. You can have all the different qualities mixing together. Alright, so back to making green quality science, because not green quality science, we're gonna be making green science. Subtle. No. My bot's not being used. Oh, right, I turned them off because I didn't want them using up all the material in my inventory so I could continue to plan out buildings. Right. Reason why I placed a 4-block gap so we can put down a roboport here. Because obviously my bots are not getting enough charging spots. I do wish that one of the things that was base game, I know that there's mods that add them, but I wish that there were just charging ports for bots so that they could have somewhere to charge, but it wouldn't let them go dormant inside of them. I was almost going to say sleep inside of them, which I guess that would also be correct to a certain degree. Right. So for this one, we're going to go there. This to here. Goes up to that. This one. There. To that. There. I could technically have this be an underground belt instead and save us an underground belt, but I'm not super worried about it at this moment. I probably wish I did it when we were running out low on underground belts. If we ever run low on underground belts, shouldn't happen though. And then we can place down this. What I need to do eventually is make blueprints of all of these. I might do that off camera one day. Or I might start copying these blueprints or something. So I can do a 2-to-1 ratio, a 3-to-1 ratio, and so on and so forth. One thing I found out while placing them down is that if you, with this adjustable inserters mod, if you make a blueprint that has the inserter reaching further out than you have researched, it'll actually let you set it up. Like, you can do it before you've researched it, because the setting's already set. I don't know if the mod author knows about that, and I don't know if they're ever going to change that, but until then, it's an option. You want to game some of the system. What are we currently at for runtime? Just about 1:30. So I'll go ahead and go until we finish green science, and then once we're finished with green science, I will be calling it for the night. I want to make sure I get through making green science though. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. one-to-one recipe? Yes, I do. I do like this setup, thanks to setting the parameters in the blueprint, which is that purple thing. It does let me set up the thing to what I want to craft. Basically click this button up here. I actually was complaining about this in one of my episodes, wishing I could do this, and didn't even realize that if I click this button, you can set the values here, and you can either have it be, if you set it to these, it'll prompt you when you place it what you want to place down. If you select something else, it will craft that instead. So you can change what it crafts. I didn't need a 1-to-2, I needed a 2-to-1. I didn't need gears yet, I needed underground belts. Okay, give me this. Place that here. We'll just go ahead and redesign this now so that we have a 2-to-1 recipe. Should just do a 3-to-1 recipe as well, since we're going to need a 3-to-1 recipe in a few seconds for the inserters. This, and then this. Now we blueprint that. Set parameters. Parameter 0. Oh wait, that was not set to a blueprint to it, so it won't get properly. Set parameters to parameter 0. Do is we'll set this as 2-to-1 crafting. Great blueprint. And now, if I bring it up a bit, I think that should be far enough. It's going to be about the same in length as this because it's going to do the same thing that one did. 2, 3, 4. We're gonna put it there and hope that that's the right spot. And then we'll add this to my book, or to my saved blueprints. I don't know if this was a Space Age edition, or if this was already in game, but I didn't see this originally, and I love this because this lets me have my recipes and everything through saves. So I'm actually now tempted to set up recipes. It used to be that I was like, I'm not going to set up recipes because I'm just going to lose them when I restart the game. There we go. Which I actually didn't need to do with that one. Or, I didn't need to do this one because this one needs iron. Let's set these up to be longer. This one across, and then this needs iron. Which 1-to-1 crafting recipe. I'm tempted to set it here. Actually, right here would be best. Yeah, we're gonna place it here. We can't fit a Roboport in between, but that's fine. It's still far within the Roboport's logistics network, and we'll be able to get a construction Roboport over here. Sorry if I'm being stiffy now, my nose is bothering me. Another reason why we're going to be ending stream soon. I will most likely do longer streams. I would definitely say that if I was feeling well, I would definitely do another stream. I would definitely continue the stream. But with how scratchy my throat is and how my nose is bothering me now, I don't want to go push it any farther than this. Well, I don't want to push it any farther than getting green science finished. There we go. Now we're making belts, which will go into here to make green science. Now we just need to make, darn it. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to make gears later. I meant to make gears further down because you need gears for the inserters as well. That's fine. I will put gears down and then we'll just pull it from here and send it to the left instead. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set down a 2 to 3, which will move this over to being inserters. This will not be where it's being put. Putting it here as a placeholder so I can set it up. I need to figure out how you get into the testing grid. I actually have never used Factorio's testing area before. I normally just play with cheats on and use cheats like requesting like infinite chests and stuff like that whenever I want to test something. That or I just build it in game and test it in game. But I know there's a testing grid you can build on, and I need to eventually figure out how to get to that. But it's one of those things of, I probably know how to do it, it's probably a button you press somewhere, but I don't remember it. There we go. So there's our 3 to 1. And cut that up. We're going to go ahead and put this in here. What I want to do, actually, now that I think about it, what I should do is make this, place this in here. What we'll do is we'll take these out. Let's see. There was a 3 to 1. Oh, we have a new 3 to 1. Hopefully we won't ever need to make another 3 to 1. Where's our 2 to 1? This one is this as parameter 0. Three, 2, 1, crafting. Okay, so let's go with 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll build it. There will be fine. Going to make inserters. There. Go to there. Go to there. One there. There. And that's that. Next, it needs iron plates. And it's another one of those things that I did not realize. I forgot that iron plates was in servers, and the only extras was green circuits. This will fit a lot. Yeah, this will fit in here just fine. Now the question is, do I want to pull from the blue belt from this blue belt as well? I'm already pulling for belts and gears. That'd be a bad idea. Let's just go ahead and pull it off the main line. Now the issue, now some of you might say it's still coming from the same belt. We're just pulling from it earlier. But what's different here is that if I find that this is being used up too quickly, what I can eventually do is I can change this one to go into here like this, that to go into there like that, this to go into here like that, and that to go like that, and then I can narrow them down like I did down here, so that we're using all 6 belts of transportation. Oh yeah, somebody did say something about my recordings and that my volume was a little low. I did ask about if that was the sound of my recording, if that was the sound of my voice, or if that was the sound of the music in-game. If you guys have any comments on the volume, feel free to mention it to me. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys want the music to be louder, if you guys want my voice to be different, just please try and help me out in knowing what you wanted. I wasn't really sure what that person was talking about. I couldn't tell if they were talking about the volume that I was speaking at, if it was the volume that the music is at, or if it was the volume that was if it was the volume of something else. 1, 2, 3. What is probably one of the most overused green circuit blueprints designs, which I probably should blueprint this. Yeah, I'm aware. If you go onto this belt and you say you want to put it to the right, or if you want to put it to the left, you can also filter it. You can also input whether or not you want it to pull in from the belt or push out from the belt. I usually don't mess with that too much when building buses like this. I have prioritized them in some cases, but usually when it's something like this, I find that it was more of a consideration of throughput, because I know that the blue belts will only transport 45 items per tick, and that these belts may request more than 45 because they're using 2.5 a second, so that's basically 5 for every 2 of them. So 5, 10, 15, 20, that's already 20. That's almost half of what a blue belt can supply. And I'm dividing it between these two, and then this is 5, so that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. This is 40 up here already. That's already eating most of what's coming through on this belt. So I'm already splitting it too much here. And I was trying to decide if I wanted to split it more because, well, I'm not really worried about getting green or red circuits quickly. I'm just worried about getting them at all. As long as there's a trickle, that means science will progress. And that's usually how I usually run most of my factories in Factorio, until I start getting a lot of the researches that I need to start optimizing and making it run better. But no, I do know about the priorities. I appreciate the tip. Oh, too far. This is another iron belt supply line. This can be the green circuit outflow. And then this needs to go down to copper. Forgot to put the inserters there. Them in a second. Truth be told, the one thing that I don't know very well in this game is circuit network. Because I know that there's a way to set up some circuit conditions that I'd like to set up, and I don't know how to set them up. Like, for example, when you're in space and you're trying to throw items off the belt into space, I don't know how to get it to read the belt and to remove any item above a certain number. I usually have to put down an inserter for each and every item, because without doing a circuit condition network, which I don't know very well, there's no way for me to set that up. Oh wait, no. That was supposed to pull from this line. This one's supposed to pull from that line. Then this one needs to output to that line. I obviously don't take credit for this blueprint design, and while I can say that I don't necessarily pull the blueprint designs here from anyone, I won't claim their design either, because I watch a lot of people play Factorio, and I know for a fact that people have probably built those before, because it's a pretty basic design idea. Heck, even the reactor I build is is probably from someone as well. I didn't copy the blueprint from anyone, I made it myself, but I wouldn't be surprised if other people came up with the same idea. There we go. That gets our green circuits. And I might extend these out if I want to make more. I haven't decided yet. It all depends on what throughput I want once I've gotten all the sciences that I'm planning on building. We have these. Which is now making green science. But it won't be putting it in until we've used up the green sciences for that, and right now it's not doing green science because we're doing the Voidcraft research. But, much like I said, once we got green science set up, I was going to be calling it. My voice is starting to give me a lot more trouble. But, one thing we can do now that we've finished the green science research, go ahead and go down to the mall and remove the green science setup. I might put productivity Can I put productivity modules in here? No. So I might put productivity modules in the green science, because I'm pretty sure green science is the green circuits, because I'm pretty sure green circuits is one of the things that's going to be giving us a problem. One thing we could do if we wanted to, since it's so close to where we're producing green science that's going to the base, is I can always set this up to request green science. I need to stop doing that. I need to design this to not do this either. So actually, what we will do before we go, 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. It's always 5 more minutes. It's always 5 more minutes in Factorio. Yeah, it's too long for a blue belt. We're gonna pull the belt. We're gonna pull the gears from science is set up so that we can have even more, so that we can be belting the gears so that they're not being slowed down by the bot network. I think this will fit. Does it? Yes, it does. Now we'd save on 2 belts. I really just need to set this. I just really need to fix this. I'm not big on optimizations on a lot of things, but I am. I will do it eventually if I find that resources is a big thing. It does not need to fill up with gears. And neither does this one. There we go. Now we will have gears on belt as well. It will mean that this is not going to have nearly enough. This probably will run low on gears eventually, because it's having to supply 3 different things with gears, but that's fine. Gears are made pretty quickly. If it ends up being slow, we'll improve it later. But um, that'll be it for the stream. I hope everybody who showed up for the live viewing of it enjoyed. It's a little bit of a special view for anybody who showed up, since I didn't put anything out that I was going to put this up. I just decided to try it, and I think it's worked out pretty well. Like I said, in the future, I will be trying to stream every Saturday if I am able to. If I can't stream on Saturday, I might stream on Sunday, I might not. I will be trying to do it here on YouTube for Factorio, but I will be planning on trying to stream other games as well when I'm available to on my Twitch, which should be in the description of this video. If it's not, then I'm surprised. Can I see the description while I'm streaming like this? Doesn't look like it. I will hope to improve the design around, I will hope to improve my streaming qualities. I know that the bitrate was not very good today. I need to look into how to improve that and how to fix that. I know that my voice was not on par today because of the fact that like I said, I have a common cold, so I'm having to deal with that. And like I said, these were more of just proof of concept designs. We will be adding more factories for green science, more factories for red science, and this probably will be more than enough belts for quite a while. I know for a fact we don't need this many belts for green science. But we'll be adding more of these as we need them. This was just a proof of concept to get them up and running. I do like how we built more of these than we did the basic throughput. Actually, where's my 2 to 1? Where's my 2 to 1 design? We're gonna increase both of these, because it's just gonna be as simple as doing this. There we go. Now we've got now we've got them going into at least 8. Could always extend it further, because all I'd have to do is come into here. Oh wait, where'd it go? Grab our 2 to 1 recipe again, and I can literally go here, red science, and here, green science. The other thing being is that it's not going to pull from it while there's still research in the bucket, which I don't want it to. I want it to eat up all the research that's in the bucket before it uses up any of the research on the belt, so that I don't just have research popping around being useless. We will be doing more of the red and green sciences. I just want the Exalted Efficiency enchantments so we can start getting those produced, so that we can start taking them into space, like S6X suggested. I do believe he is correct. I do believe that they are correct. That we should build up with efficiency modules so that we don't have to worry about as much power, because as we saw with the current state of endurance, it's already taking too much power. But we also can see that we're also making our fluids, which it did fill up our thrusters with thruster fluid. Technically almost ready to go. Not that it's going to ever, not that it's even close to a flying state in this. Go ahead and attach this. And it's finished. Now we can send it to another planet. No, we're not. I'm joking. We're not going to be sending it to a planet like this. The meteors would destroy it. Unless Void Block sets the meteors to being 0 by default. Always possible. I don't think I'm that lucky, though. We are going to be building more than these. We might build more engines. I haven't decided yet. Everything that I'm building right now is just a proof of concept because I haven't built it like this before. But once the Void Ship is ready, we will be launching it. Once we finish the Void Ship, hopefully in the next stream, we will be launching it we will be prepping it for launch, getting all the stuff we need inside of it, and sending it to Vulcanus, the volcano planet, in order to get our foundries and to get our in order to get our foundries and to get our those. Might need more of those. Actually, you might need more of the asteroid crushers, but I'm not going to be worried about that just yet. Right now, I just want to send up some more. I was going to send up some more storage units, but I'm noticing that the storage units aren't in here. So either A, nope, we are requesting it, which means we don't have any. At least not of the uncommon or the rare variety. Once we get to Fulgora, and we get its recycler, we're going to be doing a lot more with quality modules. There will be some things that I will not use low quality for. I will only use high quality. But that will be a after Vulcanus design. But if you guys have enjoyed, please hit that subscribe button. If you guys can, join me for my streams. I'll normally let the stream run with me muted for about 5 minutes before I start the stream, just to let people get in and get seated. Maybe stop by the concession stand and pick up some popcorn. But after about 5 minutes, I will start the stream. But I have done the whole I'm stopping here and then continued on because of Factorio's addicting nature. But we will be stopping now. So I will see you all in the next one. Have a nice day. See you all later.